All right, so the title of the video today is How Did I Get into Energy Healing? So it's basically a story of my journey into how I got into the energy healing arena. So this started in 2014, 2013 to 2014. At the time, like I wasn't doing energy healing or anything like that. I was actually working in IT at Fujitsu in Trinidad. And yeah, I thought that was my path at the time. And like my parents suddenly gave me some news, like some important news. So apparently my mom and my dad's health was going downhill for a while, but they didn't tell me until it got like really bad. So on my dad's side, the news was that he had prostate cancer and he had to go and do a surgery. Um, and also at the same time, my dad was losing weight. And yeah, he was losing weight every month and they didn't know why. So they probably thought it was due to the cancer. And then on my mom's side, she had a heart problem. So she said it was leaky heart valves, is what the doctor said. And it was going on for a few years, and she was taking pills to to control the heart. But over time, like the pills weren't working as they were, and her health with the heart was starting to go downhill. So that was the news like in 2014. It was like a shock to my system. And and yeah, and then like with all this going on, like my eyesight started to suddenly get bad, you know? So somehow at the time, like I knew my health was connected to my parents' health. And like all this bad news they were giving me, it was affecting my eyesight. Um, yeah, because I wore glasses for since I was in my early 20s, and it wasn't too bad. But all of a sudden, um, like everything was blurry, you know. So the glasses were to see far, but now I couldn't read. I couldn't see things close. Um, so the eye doctors or the optician said it was presbyopia. So they gave me these new glasses with lenses to see close and far, and that kind of worked short term, but um, like my eyes got so weak, like I couldn't hold the focus for long, so I couldn't even wear the glasses for long, and yeah, that was a challenging time for me too because whilst I was dealing with my parents' problems, like my health, my eyesight started to go downhill. Like I couldn't wear glasses anymore, and I was seeing blurred. And I myself, I mean, I had to go and learn how to see without glasses. So yeah, so back to my parents' story. Um, like they tried all the conventional doctors and some of the alternative here in Trinidad. And so yeah, I decided to go with my mom to see like what else was available. So we tried a bunch of alternative things and some of it helped a little bit, but it didn't really seem to have lasting effects. And my mom's heart was getting worse all the time. So at this time, like I decided to leave my job at Fujitsu and concentrate on my parents because the way it was going, like I didn't think I would have much time with them again, you know? So yeah, so at that time, so this is like 2014, um, like I said, I'm gonna figure this out, you know, because nothing seems to be working for my mom. And yes, I started to do my research, you know, into alternative health and healing. Um, so meantime, well, my dad had his surgery for the prostate, and that seemed um, to fix the issue with the prostate cancer. However, he was still losing weight, every month. So I think by now at this time he was down to probably like 100 pounds, which is pretty light for a man. Um, so yeah, so with my research and stuff, so the first thing for my dad is like I read about um, um, something that people had used the way, which was called a zapper, which was basically a small device that put electrical current in the body, and that would kill parasites and some sort and pathogens in the body. So one of the things we used to tell dad was, you must have worms because he was losing so much weight, and we tell him, well, when you go to the doctor, check that out. So doctors would give him worm out pills and worm out medicine. And he would come back and say, well, yeah, look, I've been taking these pills and worm out medicine and I'm clean. The doctor said I don't have any worms or anything. But my intuition kept telling me, like something is not right, like he has worms or something. So another thing that happened, they put some cameras inside his like intestines, and they were seeing like bumpy things there. So I think they called it diverticulitis, but they didn't know what was causing it. But something was up with his intestines. So so yes, I got some zappers. So it's like a small little box with a 9-volt battery, and it uh, had some like copper um, connection points, like 2 points that you put on your skin. Uh, so I got that for my dad to try. So like he didn't really believe anything, so he said he'll try it out. And you put it in like a sock so you could sleep with it. So so he had that on for about 3 or 4 days, and then yeah, suddenly like the shocking thing happened. Like he went to the toilet and like worms came out in the toilet a lot. So like he was scared, but that basically fixed his problem, because after that he started back gaining weight. Right. So back to my mom's issue with the heart. So one thing that I found that seemed to work when we went to alternative um, practitioners here in Trinidad was they had a frequency machine that my mom had tried, and it would put frequencies for healing and different things into the body. And that sort of helped a little bit, but I guess she wasn't doing enough treatments. So I did some research and I got one for home use, which was called the Spooky 2 Rife, a Rife machine. And yeah, so I started with that to my mom. But like my mom at first, like she was scared to use it. So she said use it on all her issues except the heart. You know, because I mean the heart was going downhill and she was kind of scared and she said, well, I just want to do what the doctors are giving me. So I tried the Rife machine on other things like a eyesight and other things. And yeah, it seemed to work. Things were healing. Um, but she still didn't want to use it on the heart. And um, the heart like went downhill really fast. And she was in the hospital in emergency. And like they couldn't do much more, so they sent her back home. So it was as if they sent her back home to die, you know. So at that time we saw another heart specialist and she recommended like to install a pacemaker and see if that would help. So my mom did that surgery, and then when she came back home, like she had picked up a little bit, and then she started to go downhill really fast again. And so I told my dad and my mom, and I said, well, let's try the Rife machine on the heart. You have nothing else to lose. And she said okay, and dad said okay, and yeah, and from that day when I use those frequencies, my mom's health, like all of a sudden, like the heart conditions reverse, and she started to pick back up and get stronger and stronger. And yeah, so using the Rife machine, like got to back up to a certain stage, for a few months. And then she started to go down again and then back up. But over time, she was improving, you know. So the next thing I did is through my research, um, like the next step up using healing machines was something called a bioresonance machine. And this one, you can actually like scan the frequencies in your body and it will give a report on what areas need healing. And then you can use the preset frequencies to heal or choose other healing frequencies to put in the body. So yeah, so that worked, pretty good at the time for mom. And she had like a next spurt of healing and improvements. Uh, but then after about a year, like it started to go back downhill a bit, like it was up and down. And yeah, with my intuition and guidance, like the next step up for her healing was something called a radionics machine. So this was really a step up because the radionics machine used um, like healing frequencies or healing rates. Um, but the machine wasn't connected to the person, you know? So like the Rife machine and the bioresonance, those were directly connected to the person getting the healing. But with the radionics machine, there was nothing to um, connect the the machine to the person directly. So how it would work is you'd um, write the name on a piece of paper, or you can use like a sample of the hair or something, and say that represents the person, and yeah, and that's what you'd use to send the healing to the person. And then another thing that was different was um, the radionics machine didn't scan the person to find out what healing frequencies or rates to use. You had to muscle test or use your intuition. Some of the machines had something called a sticky pad, where you'd move your finger on the sticky pad, and when you got to the correct rate, your finger would stick. So it's a type of muscle testing. And then others use the pendulum to do pendulum dowsing to get the correct rates. So I learned how to do that and use the radionics machine. So that was a big step up for me too, because I was starting to use um, like my own intention and intuition as a part of the healing process. So yeah, so with that, like my mom and dad, and I've been using these machines on my eyesight and other issues as well. Um, so everything seemed to be improving at a faster rate. So that was another big step up. Uh, then after that, um, I got more into the pendulum dowsing and pendulum healing. And then from there, I went to the motion code and body code, um, which is from Dr. Bradley Nelson. So that one was helpful too because he developed a app that you could use on your phone or your computer, which had all the imbalances that he discovered affected people. A lot of it was emotional energies that was stuck in people, and yeah, so you could use the app and muscle test what's the underlying cause for this issue. Like for my mom, like a lot of it was um, emotions with the problem. So there were her emotions that she didn't process properly and got stuck in the body. And then there was emotions of other people that she absorbed and got stuck in her, So, and then to where it gets stuck is where you'd be affected. So for my mom, a lot of her emotional energies got stuck in the heart area and formed heart walls. So over time, because so much was stuck there, it affected the functioning of the heart. So that was like the main underlying cause for my mom's heart problems, you know. Um, yeah, so basically, from there I just continued with that journey, learning other modalities until where I've reached now. All right, so that's the end of this series of videos. So today is how did I get into energy healing? The next video I'll do is how I discovered bulk energy clearing. So that's a different kind of shift in the healing that was applicable to my parents and me. So in the next video, I will go into how I discovered bulk energy clearing, and I'll explain what that's about. Okay, so that's it for today. So I'll see y'all later.